Do. All right. Yep, that's all good. Let's go. So this is a very special hello and welcome to Frantic Purpose. Today is a very special day because today I am live on TikTok as well. So if you're new to the whole deal, this is Frantic Purpose. I'm Travis Straw, and the podcast is about generally whatever the hell I want it to be. I don't have any rules. I talk about a lot about mental health and my experience in life and just general concepts. So welcome. I just got back from Paris not too long ago, about a little over a week ago. I was there for work, and I really enjoy Paris in a big way. Right now, I'm hiding everything that says I'm live on TikTok because it screws with my cadence. It screws with my general peace of mind. But I love Paris. It's beautiful. You could feel the ancient history within all the walls of all the buildings. So many people run in Paris, which is great. And I think to myself, if I lived in Paris, I would also run. If you're wondering why I am red, it is because I just worked out and I was just in the sauna. And if you don't sauna, I don't even know if you're living. Okay. If you're not familiar with what a sauna is, it's a room where it gets very hot and you sweat with other people, and everyone is generally naked. You'd think that'd be like illegal or something, but yeah, generally everyone's pretty well behaved in a sauna. A sauna. Um. Anyways, Paris was great. We did what we needed to do, and we got out of there. I got home, and jet lag is a very real thing. I wish I had a solution for you for jet lag. And you'd think the past few years I've been doing a lot of travel. I've been to England a few times, Scotland. Last year, what did I like went 17 or 27 places, I forget. But one of them was Hong Kong. That was by far the most bizarre jet lag I've ever had. But there's no trick. I try to stay up the whole flight. I've tried everything I can. Maybe the only thing I haven't tried is just sleeping on the flight anyway. But like if I leave Paris and I get to San Francisco and it's like 8 p.m., then how am I supposed to sleep if I slept on the plane? That's all I'm saying. New developments in growing older and traveling more. My legs, for the first time ever, like I'm a pretty tall guy. I'm like 6'3", and I don't get to pay for. I don't get any leg room. I'm just one of the people in the back of the plane. I feel like in some cases I'd be better with the luggage. At least I could lay out. But I think that my legs, there's a problem. Like I'm in there. I used to be like, okay, fine, I could sit. These are like 10 to 14-hour flights I'm on. And this is the first time I got home and my legs had swollen, like the straight up ankles. And someone maybe tell me, like, if I should, they're not swollen out now. It was very quick that they quickly were like, hey, your legs aren't swollen anymore. But they were like tree trunks, not in any weird good way. I mean, it was weird. It was like this weird. I have very defined ankles, as my wife has told me. And I they were super, and I think that's like my future. My future is just flying on planes and getting off them with way thicker ankles, like cankles. So that's my reality. Welcome to the new aged, fun, swollen leg crew. Who else out there has swollen legs when they fly? Like just like, man, what a bizarre feeling. But cool thing was, on both the flight there and the flight back, I got the middle seat was vacant, and that's excellent. If anyone flies, like the more seats that are like not taken by you, it's very comfortable. So I got to take a lot of pictures in Paris, and if you don't know who I am, to TikTok I'm no one. Yeah, I'm generally known. On Instagram, I have a little over 27,000 followers, which isn't like a huge deal, but I'm proud of everything I post. So if you want to pop on over there, check it out. I love all the pictures I took. I think I posted definitely over like 100 pictures. that I've posted, and it was a joy. I hope I get to go again soon. Who knows? My job tends to send me everywhere. I might be going to Germany. I might be going to India, and we'll see how it goes. And I'll probably, talk about it here. So a lot of the things I talk about on this podcast is travel. If you're just joining, I mean, this is called Frantic Purpose, and I'm Travis Straw. And you could go to Spotify and you could listen to all my episodes. Just look up Frantic Purpose, or you could listen to my music, which is generally fun. I like all the music I've made, and I've just started singing again, which is a bunch of fun. I I have two instrumentals ready for these new songs I'm going to write this weekend. So that's fun. We're having a good time out here. And, it's so interesting to be this world traveler. If you had told like 15-year-old Travis back in the day that any of this would be real, like, yeah, essentially 20 years from 17-year-old Travis, 20 years from now, you're just going to be out here, like managing a global team and like getting to go on travel and to beautiful spots and also take pictures and also enjoy very good food. And there's just so much going on. And I'm so thankful. I'm so blessed by my life, and I'm happy to be married. I'm going to be a dad. You don't know me, but you're getting to know me right now. So welcome to Frantic Purpose. Let's continue on. One thing that me and Amanda were talking about recently is we're millennials, which means, yes, we're old people. Not like old. Like, I look forward to being 50 plus. I think 50-year-old Travis to 65-year-old Travis will be pretty dope. But like right now, we're in our 30s. I'm in my late 30s. Amanda's in her early 30s, early to mid 30s, and we're about to have a baby. And it's just like being a millennial is so crazy because, Microsoft has just made this incredible quantum chip. If you don't know what quantum is, that makes sense. I barely know what quantum is. It's like all these like Google, Microsoft, like everyone's trying to make their new quantum chip, and everyone's like, haha, yeah, quantum, cool. And you think of probably about Ant-Man or something. I don't know, but it's bizarre. Just as one concept that I carry in my head is that like quantum entanglement, right? You're like, cool, quantum. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like the quantum realm is absolutely insane. I have to say again, I know barely anything about it. But I do know that qubits, I think that's what they're called. Anyone who knows anything about quantum, tell me. But qubits can become quantum entangled. And they have like two states of kind of like 1 and 0. And no matter where they are in the universe, no matter how far, they legit do the exact same thing. And we don't really know why. We just know it's called quantum entanglement, and I'm not a scientist. Anyways, I've been talking about quantum for years and years and years. And right now we're definitely very firmly in the realm of, like, think of computers in the 60s. They took up mad amount of room, and they take up all this space and time and energy, and there's tapes and all that. That's where we are with quantum. Except what Microsoft has done will break everything. Like, once we successfully integrate quantum technology into, especially like pairing it with AI and whatever, and it's out in the world, essentially all security mechanisms will be moot. They won't matter anymore. And that's bizarre. Like, passwords, thing of the past. Ciphers, encryptions, quantum computing can figure it out nearly immediately. So that's fun. And that's neither here nor there. I have nothing to do with it. It's just something I've always been interested in, and I've been tracking. I've also like made a little money off stocks in quantum, which is fun. But hey, so for you, just the person listening or the person watching, quantum means things are going to change. For the good or bad, we'll have to find out. Also, another thing that happens while I'm doing Frantic Purpose, I always have to be burping. Don't know why. It is a fact. It's a fact of life. What episode is this? This is season 2 of Frantic Purpose. Welcome, if you're just joining. um, episode, I don't know, 5. I usually just talk on my floor like this. And I am a visual artist. You can see one of my paintings behind me. I play acoustic. I play lots of instruments. I am no one to anyone. I'm not anyone famous. I've definitely had like uh, art shows, and I've played shows in general as a musician. I've gone on a little tours here and there. Um, Opened for big bands. It's been fun. But I mean, generally, I'm a no one, which is great. I love being a no one because that means my opinion absolutely doesn't matter. I'm just like one dude. I'm just a guy sitting on my living room floor. And at the end of this episode, I will be like opening it up for like questions for anyone who's here who wants to chat with your boy Travis. But in general, I just love so much about living life. And in my life, I've fielded a lot of questions from my friends, family, and I apply a very goal oriented way of life. I have like a system of, if I do this, then I get this. Like if I make a few songs this month and if I crush it at work, then at the very last weekend, I get to have like some fast food, but I can't DoorDash it. I have all these weird rules, but they're good. I have nothing against them. I think gamifying my life is something that I have absolutely enjoyed and helped me to succeed relatively. Um, but that's neither here nor there. I went off the rails. I was talking about being a millennial, and you're like crazy. What's cool about being a millennial, Travis? I will tell you. I think the coolest thing is that we are like the last generation that got to experience a world without cell phones and internet. And you have like the Industrial Revolution, where that changed everything in a big way, and it made like we have cars, TVs, all this very cool technology. But then we get hit like this. I don't know what the term is. I'm sure there has to be a term for when the internet and cell phones happened, right? When the iPhone came out in like 2005, 2006. Like there has to be because it's huge. Like it's just as big as the Industrial Revolution. That before, I'm looking at newspapers for movie times. I would go out with my friends, and there was no way for my parents to contact me. We just kind of all operated on this trust system. Like, you guys have to be at home at this time. You guys have to do X, Y, Z. And we're like, okay. And sometimes we wouldn't do it, and I'd be show up late, and I'd get in trouble. But then now I can't even imagine what it's like to be a kid. What a weird, boring life, I think. Like, and even with adults, like, I don't think phones and screens help most people. I think that they're absolutely used to be numbed. I think they could be like an incredible tool, right? Like an absolutely incredible tool. But if you don't use the tool and the tool's using you, you're like, anytime I'm on public transit, there's just people. And if you take public transit, just take a look. Like, look at people on the train. It's just like, and you would like, I would think that people back in the day before all of this, they just have newspapers. Most people don't pay attention to other people. That's like a fact of life. It's not everyone on the train before technology was like, oh boy, I'm going to talk to everybody. That's not true. Like, everyone was still out here ignoring everybody. But I don't know. I think that in a big way, TikTok is a version of just another thing that doesn't allow you to be creative. Like, growing up without that, like me and my brothers, we're out here filming people and like, making these short films before even YouTube. We just thought, because we all love movies. In my family, we grew up, and my dad was like so excited about this surround sound. We had like laser discs. I don't know if you know what that is. A laser disc is like a vinyl sized, like DVD looking thing, and it was supposed to have like the best quality and everything like that. But it was okay quality. We still have all of our Laserdisc collection. Yay us. But we grew up in that, and we loved directors. We loved the way things worked. We loved cinematography. We loved the music in it. So what we did was, individually and together, we just made a bunch of videos. And at that point, it made zero sense. Like, everyone was suspicious of you because no one was just making videos like this. It was like this bizarre thing, counter to now, where everybody. You walk like in any city anywhere, like in Paris, there's like all these crews doing like TikTok videos, and there's all these just individual. We got me and the guy I was there with. We got hit up by a person who was just actively streaming and interviewing random people on the street, and that's super interesting to think like not even that long ago. Like I'm 37, and essentially my lifetime has been the impetus of everything. Like all this insane crap. Like stuff that my parents never would have thought of. They would see like, we legit have they're like they put in their movies and like like in what is it called? Space Odyssey, by Stanley Kubrick. Like just the video calls. How crazy would it be if you like could talk to people on a TV and like we do it from a thing in our pocket, you know? That's bizarre. But this is our reality. So I think of kids that are growing up right now. Like I'm going to be a dad, and my kid's going to be like conscious and know things around, I don't know, 6, right? Generally, that's when kids become conscious about things. I don't know. I know very little about that. But 6 years from now, like Microsoft, like I said, just made a quantum chip. 6 years from now, that happened. I don't know. Give me a break. Like I'm not one of those people who hate technology. I live and work in a career field that I have to be knowledgeable of technology. It's crazy to me because I'm in IT. It's crazy to me that regular ass people go to the store and they just buy a computer, turn it on, and they could use it. But then there's like a whole career field to help people when they don't know how to use it anymore. Like, and which makes sense. Like our technology is so streamlined that someone who's not technical at all could just go buy a brand new computer for about maybe $400. Not too bad. Turn it on and just do things on it. Cruise the internet. I don't know. Write a book, whatever you want. That's how easy it is in America, at least. I don't know how it is in other places. But man, being a kid is different. I feel bad in a way, because I like that I was trusted by my parents to just go out and do stuff. And there was no worry. Like my parents, their parents didn't care at all. Like my dad tells me stories about him going out into the boonies and to the creeks and then seeing these homeless people like washing themselves and then being terrified and then like being out there with their BB guns and all this stuff. Their parents didn't care. And then my mom's parents like straight up were like, whatever. She grew up in San Francisco, and they didn't have anything at all. And then you just keep going years and years and years back, generations of parents. There are less and less controls on children. So now think of growing up with the most controls ever in the history of children. So not only do people like use the phone as like a cheap trick, they're like, their kid's having a fuss and they're like, here you go. And then their kid is just enamored, like sucked into this box and this little disc of crap. And it's like, is that good though? These are all things that I have to think of as a pending father, like I'm about to be a dad. If everything goes well, we could things could happen, complications could happen. But I mean, I'm going to be a dad. I've been looking forward to being a dad forever. I think it's going to be great. I love singing and being silly and like playing games. I love making up stories. I love everything that there would be. I love teaching people things. I'm absolutely excited. I'm about to find out the gender too of this baby, and what a crazy adventure I'm about to go on, me and Amanda, cool beans. But I also want to consider how I treat my child, because I'm very creative. And no part of me, it's not tied to like views or like likes or anything. Before any platform existed, I had a desire and I was out here making content, as the kids say. But like for real, I was out here making stuff and just showing my family and my parents. Like my whole family was just making content for no reason at all. And that's I think there's a pureness to that. And now you have a whole like group of people that you could monetize your platform. You could monetize your music. You could self-distribute your music, which is insane. Dude, like back when I was making music with like, it was so expensive to make, like incredibly expensive to like get a microphone and get something that could ingest it like into a PC in like the early 2000s and like all this stuff. It was bananas. And if you wanted to make a movie, get out of here. But now I love how accessible creative things are, like the tools that you could buy to make a movie if you wanted, a short film, the microphones, the you got more people out here that want to make content ever before. Like before when I was a kid, no one even they're like, "What do you mean you want to make a movie? What do you mean you want to make short films? Like why? How are you going to do that?" It all seemed impossible, but now it is possible, and that's dope. But also like it creates this marketplace that I don't necessarily agree with. I know that you could make a business out of all of this. People do it all the time. And I think it's good. It is absolutely good that the creator can get online and put their stuff out there and they could win. And the only thing that stands in between you and this success is your willingness to do it. Like to become a competent and also successful creator. It's just like, do you want to do the job? Do you want to do the work? That's it. Like you just have to create content on a regular basis, post it, keep posting, engage your audience. And it's something that I've done my whole life to no end. Like I'm sitting here with like I mentioned before, like a little over 27,000 followers on Instagram. And that was because in COVID, I was like, I didn't even think my art was worth anything. I thought my artwork and my photography was garbage. And I was like, who would? And I've struggled with a lot of insecurity in my life. Like 100%, I had to like convince myself that even the air I breathe is worth like my existence on this planet. And luckily, I've gotten to a space where I'm like, yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it's okay to post my stuff and put it online and make an effort to get in shows and gallery shows and get like I have a mural in San Francisco, which is great. But I'm not anyone special. I think that anyone who wants to be successful, you just have to be out here being constant. And that's the secret code. And then you hear about these incredible success stories. But a part of me knows that it separates you from reality in a way. Like my dad handed me the video camera back in the day, the minute I gave any interest into photography or videos, or cameras or whatever. He's like, you're going to document everything now. So I decided that I'd do that. I just was in charge of filming all of the family events. And then from that point on, filming content was just something that I did. But most people, even today, don't think about it. And the people they ingest more content than anything. But the people who are making content on TikTok, the short form, I don't know. We'll see as a unit. We will see as a community how it affects the future generations of our country or our world. Like you think about the people who fought in World War II. Those people were raised by people who fought in World War I, went through the Depression. These are like tough as nails individuals that didn't give space for anything that didn't make sense to give space. They're like, if it got in between you and getting things done to make money and survive, it didn't survive anymore. You know, there wasn't a space or platform for people to make a big deal about anything other than critical issues. So now we live in a world where everybody and everything has a platform, and the line between what is a critical issue and what is not is incredibly blurred. I don't even think it exists anymore. In a big way, I think that essentially we're being told that everything is a critical issue if you think it is. But try telling that to the people back in World War II, like where they had to compartmentalize, they had to do it to succeed, and they had to do it to win. And I think if our generation, because, if there was a World War today, I'd probably get recalled. So would my brother. So would my brothers. Maybe even my sister. Like if there was a draft, I don't know. Like it would be a lot of people. I can't imagine Gen Z being drafted. Like that'd be bananas. Like for World War III, having Gen Z being drafted into any type of conflict, I'm not sure how that would go. And I mean, we would see together, but wow, that'd be bizarre. But luckily, I don't think we're close to any world war. I know everyone is a little screwed up about how things are going in the world and the president and all these other things. But to me, I feel so blessed in my life. I can't say that the presidency has ever really directly impacted me in any big way, like especially with all the divisive natures of politics now. I think I'm a big fan of coming to the table and talking to whoever wants to talk to me. Like I'm a fan of solving problems, which requires you to listen and to consider someone else's perspective and also to be kind and to have ears to hear. Like that's some beautiful stuff. But what's happening in politics right now is only dividing us further and further. And then all of a sudden aliens exist, which is bizarre for the government to say. Like what? What do you mean? Like how is that a thing that happened in Congress or whatever? They were like interviewing people who were like, the aliens exist. And it's like, okay, then that's just kind of something we left that's neither here nor there. I think everyone kind of shrugged and was like, cool story, bro. But it's a weird time, especially with the impetus of quantum technology, AI, and all this other stuff. All of us, all you and me, the regular people of the world who aren't integrated into this, we're just going to have to take whatever these leaders do, which is a little whack, because you'd like to think there'd be a system that would stop people from doing something that's incredibly dangerous. But since we're so money centric, since like the people who have all the technology want to go on and just keep making money, they're going to make products and keep making products, and maybe they won't think about how they weaponize them, and maybe they will, and they'll sell it to Lockheed Martin and they'll make some insane weapon we've never seen before. But I don't spend a lot of time thinking about the true negatives because I believe that every day is a gift. I don't think there's no guarantee I'll wake up tomorrow, you know? I'm blessed to be here and to have been on this planet for 37 years so far. And if I get to wake up tomorrow, I'll be happy and I'll take that day on. It's a beautiful day today. And I even got to somewhat partake in jury duty a little bit. I didn't get chosen, but I've always wanted to do jury duty because I like critical thinking. I like to intake data and make an assessment, a fair assessment based on the facts, and that's what I've done in my life and my job and in my, for better or worse, my relationships. I'm not the guy who's just going to like emotionally say, "Oh, I believe you because I love you." I'm going to love you by probably just assessing it and giving you my attention, and also listening to the detail and making sure that you're not screwing yourself by having your own implicit bias. Yeah, that's it. It's fun to see the people come in and out of this live. I'm happy that anyone came by and stopped. I'm going to keep doing these types of things for the podcast because I think it's a good exercise for me, public speaking wise, and to take my podcast a little bit more seriously. I love to put a more realistic bend on what we hear in news and in the media. I think it's absolutely unfair and almost villainous to be so divisive with what's being put into our ears. Like we're entering the most bizarre area of news and media where people, you could just make actual like videos that are photorealistic and just generate bizarre content that people will absolutely think is real. And that's sad that people will do it. They do it all the time. And now, like my dad, the amount of times that my dad has come to me and be like, "Oh wow, look at this for my TikTok," and I'm like, "That's AI, Dad. That's like a literal sea monster that's not real." And it'll say like AI at the bottom. But another thing that's interesting is like Adrian Brody winning the Oscar this year, when they used AI to like tweak his Hungarian accent, which is like, and it is like an actor's job to get that done. You know, your Hungarian accent in a movie is firmly on your shoulders to do correctly, and I think that's not super fair. But I mean, hey, I'm not a part of the industry. They can do whatever they want over there, and that has nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? I see all these little things popping up over there. Can't be too distracted by those. What else is exciting that's going on? My songs. I'll try to get those released this month. I'm hoping to start production on a fan fiction Star Wars audio adventure. I know that sounds super nerdy, but I mean I am. I have this stupid sweater I made on. This is obviously not Darth Vader, and that's the joke. That's how nerdy I am. You know, help me out here. This is terrible, but I love it. Other than that, I think I'll open it to questions soon. So I know that there's only like one person up in here. They're probably gonna, yep, there they go. So I think, I don't know. It's a lot. It's a weird episode because I know that it's different than mostly because I'm live, and that's weird. But I think I think I'm okay. I think I'll be okay doing this moving forward, and it'll be fun. But generally, this was kind of like a intro episode, and so welcome to Frantic Purpose and to live and all this stuff. I think it'll be a good time. We'll talk about a lot. So I'm going to stop the podcast recording, and I'm just going to go ask some people questions or have them ask me questions and just generally babble on. Babylon. All right. Have a good one. I love you. Bye bye.